ILTV Plus, your news from Israel and more 24/7. Start your free trial today. Subscribe at ILTV.tv and watch from any device. Now in other news, as the budget vote draws near, Prime Minister Bennett calling on everyone within the coalition to toe the party line. The fragile government hinging on whether or not the budget gets approved, the first budget in 3.5 years.
זו המשימה העיקרית לשבועות הקרובים, למקד את כל המאמצים, לשמור על היציבות הקואליציונית, כדי שנוכל לקדם את המטרות המשותפות שלשמם התכנסנו ויצאנו לדרך ביחד. וגם כשממש בוער לכל אחד להגיב, כשהוא בטוח שהוא צודק, בואו נחשוב על המטרה הגדולה יותר. העם שבע מחלוקות וריבים קטנוניים, הוא מצפה מאיתנו, מחברי הממשלה, מחברי הקואליציה, למשהו אחר.
Joining with more, Rabbi Dov Lipman, founder and director of government relations for Yad Le'olim, and former Knesset member for the Yesh Atid party. Thanks so much for being with us, Rabbi. Now, what are the challenges still facing this budget?
It's interesting, and the dollars and cents, or the shkalim, so to speak, of the budget, they've pretty much worked out all of those details. The struggles that they're having are when you bring together so many different parties with different philosophies and ideologies, how to make sure they stick together to get to that vote. So just as an example, when you have members of the Meretz party, which is a left-wing party, going to visit Mahmoud Abbas in Ramallah, the Palestinian Authority, that raises the anger of the right wing of the party. There was a vote last week about legalizing cannabis, and the Arab party, Ram, wasn't supportive of that. And yet, despite the fact that they have these differences, you do see that they do seem to be heeding Bennett's call to try to toe the line. So, for example, last week's vote on the cannabis was a strong statement from Ram that they are going to continue with this coalition and get to the point of the budget passing. But there are daily, small little crises that take place, and it takes a lot of leadership to try to weave it and keep it all together.
Well, and even with the cannabis bill, I just want to clarify that Ram was able to scale back that bill from full legalization towards really just focusing only on medicinal cannabis specifically. But again, with all of these issues that are happening, you don't expect anyone to break rank. You think that they're all pretty much operating under the ideology that a government is better than not a government, even if it's
From everything that I can tell, being in the Knesset and talking with the sources in the Knesset, it's in everyone's best interest to pass this budget and to find a way to make this work. It's in their interest because, first of all, they have positions, so they're having influence. That's part one. It's in their interest because it's keeping Netanyahu out of the premiership, which is what really brought them all together. And there is this hope, everyone should know this, that perhaps once the budget passes and it's a reality that this government is off and running for a few years, there's even a possibility at that point of Netanyahu stepping aside and leaving his position as the head of the opposition, moving on to other things. And that would be, from this coalition's perspective, the greatest victory, because, again, what brought them together was trying to take Netanyahu away from the premiership. So I do believe, Aaron, that they will find a way to work out all of these issues that come up. There have been significant challenges, and there's a lot of members of Knesset and ministers that are staying very quiet about issues they'd normally be super vocal about, just for the sake of keeping this coalition together and getting to that critical vote of the budget. What happens after the budget passes, that'll be interesting to see as well.
All right, so hopefully when we get there, we'll have you back with more.